What do you say, everybody? 14 Guitars here. I'm on my way to Enoree. It's Thursday, the 28th of September. It's getting a little cooler right now. Outside, it's only 70 degrees, which is really nice. Anoree's probably going to be even cooler than that because it's a little bit higher elevation. I'm down near Charleston still, about an hour outside of Charleston, I think. A little less than that. Anyway, I'm going to go to Enoree and ride. I haven't been riding in 2 weeks. I haven't been to Enoree since my flat tire. Going to do either one or two sets of all 5 loops, at least one full set. We'll see. Then I'm going to spend the night in Chapin at my sister and brother-in-law's house, and then head up the next day, hopefully, to Brown Mountain. I want to go back to Brown. You know, you can see my Brown Mountain video from the other day. I hit a bunch of different trails, and I felt pretty good about that trip. I think I might be ready to go ride trail number 2 by myself. We'll see when I go, but I just feel pretty confident after that ride. It was a lot of fun, and I think most of the places at Brown Mountain that are tough to get around, especially on like trail number 2, there are ways to go past the hard part. There are, you know, alternate routes over the worst obstacles. So that's my plan. We'll see how it goes. I may have to go back home tomorrow instead of going to Brown, but right now my plan is to go ride Enoree, and then we'll hit Brown and have a good time. And I'm just so excited to get back on the boat, back on the bike again, because it has been a couple weeks, and I really wanted to be riding every week this year and haven't done a very good job of that at all. So, all right. If you like my videos, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It's good for the algorithm in YouTube and gets my videos actually put in front of other people as a suggestion. I don't know how this stuff works very much, but I've learned a little bit about it. And if you do subscribe, click the little bell, and it'll tell you when I put out a new video. And you can decide whether you want to watch it or not. You may not care a bit about Brown Mountain, but you might want to see Wambaw or Manchester or wherever we happen to be riding that week. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a chance to get out and ride in the last couple of weeks, and I hope you're having a good fall. Talk to everybody later. See you later. What do you say, everybody? 14 Guitars here. We are back at Enoree. Enoree Cycle Trail is one of the best in the state, in my opinion. Some 3D terrain, 5 different loops with a couple of side loops on those 5 loops. Up and down, a lot of bank turns, bank climbing turns like on a toboggan run. It's really, really fun. If you can get out here, it's a great place to learn, especially the first couple of loops, trail riding. I think the 4th and 5th loop are a little more advanced. It's if you had a kid that really was trying to learn to ride an ATV, or is maybe new to a motorcycle, there's some climbing off-camber turns that if you fell off the edge, that could be, there's some risk there of injury. I'm not sure I would take a beginner on trails 4 and 5. Maybe not even 3, depending on the skill level of the kid. But 1 and 2 definitely, and then work your way up from there. So today we're going to ride 5 loops. I mean, I've got a pretty late start. I think it's, what time is it here? Yeah, it's almost 5 o'clock. Sunset's at 7:14 or so, 7:15. So I'm going to do all 5 loops, and then might do a couple loops twice. I might do all 5 twice, depending on how I feel and what time it is when I get there. So hope you enjoy it. And it's just a fun ride for me. It's been over 2 weeks. My plan is to just ride today, get some good exercise and get my muscle memory fixed up, and then head to Brown next week. Or actually tomorrow, excuse me, tomorrow, not next week. So that's my plan. We'll see what happens.
My name is Beau. What's yours?
What's your name?
Beau.
Beau?
Yeah.
Mike.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Normally nobody's ever out here.
I try to come during the week.
Yeah. Yeah. I've ridden these right around here where it all goes through the parking lot and back. But
okay.
I've never gotten out, figured out how to get all the way out to where the road goes. I mean, the road goes over the trail.
Oh,
Tunnel. I don't know where that link
that's
is.
loop number 4.
Yeah.
So if you start here,
Yeah.
you take each loop, and each time they come back, you make a right. You take the next loop, you make a right. You take the next loop. By the 3rd loop, you're on the 2-way. You're still coming out on the 2-way.
Okay. Which is down here about a half a mile.
It's actually, it runs from here that way.
Okay.
So the trail really is all over here.
Yeah.
A little bit over there, mostly over there.
Yeah.
And then after you exit the 3rd loop and you make a right, it's not very far, and straight ahead is loop 4. That's the one that goes through the tunnel.
Yeah.
Onto the road you see on the videos going through the tunnel.
Yeah.
And then
On the map, they're all 12 with a letter.
huh?
On the map that they have at the kiosk, it's 12. All the trails are number 12 with a letter A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you know.
Oh, yeah. I call them 1 through 5 because there's 5 trails. They look like this. Short, longer.
Yeah,
So sort of.
The one out by the tunnel is about 4 or 5 miles long.
Yeah, it's the longer one. Is the map over there?
There is one, but I can't use it while I'm riding anyway.
Yeah.
I'm good with directions.
Yeah, so here's...
I mean, are you heading out that way?
Yeah, I'm actually going to do all 5 loops.
I can follow you.
Okay.
And just, you know, if you want me to lead for a while, I can.
Yeah, we can switch back and forth.
You can't get lost if you...
As long as when you come back, you make a right, you'll go to the next trail.
Yeah.
And you're making a right on the 2-way. If you make a left, you come back to the parking lot no matter where you come out.
Exactly. It's kind of like a creek and a mountain.
Yeah.
Follow the creek.
Yes.
All right, I'll follow you.
All right, I'll start like on 1 and 2, and then maybe, yeah, okay.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. I got to get back up to watch the Green Bay Packers in Greenville by about 7:38. That'll be like second quarter.
I got to be down in Chapin with pizza for my brother-in-law and his wife.
Cool.
So
We'll get one in.
I think we can do 5 loops in about 45 minutes.
Okay.
But we just check the time at any of these loops, and you can always come back.
Cool.
This old 2005's got to warm up. That fella's name is Beau, and like I say over and over, he's the nicest people in the world. I'm guessing that Beau's a decently fast rider. Yep, I see him back there. Well, this'll work out well as far as just warming up. You know, getting a good exercise in. I hope I can keep up with him when he leaves. Conditions are incredible. A little dry, right? A little bit of dust, but nice and cool. So this 2-stroke 2005 Keen carburetor is liking this a lot. There he is. Concentrate on keeping everything smooth and fun. I put water on my gear, and I gotta tell you, I'm actually a little bit cold. I'll probably have a slight chill. soon. And then I'll warm up as the water evaporates a little more over time. There he is. I got some new mounts for my LED mount, LED light. All right, so we just make a right each time. So this is number 2. You want to lead?
Go ahead.
Can you go faster?
This bike is 3-needle?
Yeah.
My noodle was in the trailer. I have a KTM 4-stroke in the trailer. I'm a lot more comfortable on this thing. Stiff as a board.
Okay, well I'm happy.
I'm going close and try to go as fast as I can, and I'll show you what I mean.
I'm happy to go this speed, no problem at all.
Cool. Yeah,
I'm here to work out.
This bike I'm not really crazy about.
I gotcha.
But I got to get it ridden. It needs to be ridden.
Yeah. Nice. So he has another bike that is a bike that he's used to ride, and believe me, when you get on a new bike, I got off this 250. I got on my friend's Dirt Junkie on YouTube, Dirt Junkie. He works for Beau, he's a really cool kid. He had a 300 Beta, and I got on that thing and I immediately drove right off the trail. If you're not used to a bike you got, it's just a smart thing to take it easy. And that's what he's doing. He's learning to ride this new bike here. And I hope I didn't put any pressure on him to go any faster. I understand he can go faster on the other bike. So I'm here to get a workout. He's here to get some time on that bike. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a fun ride and just roll these trails and have a nice time. When I'm alone is when I'll try to, kind of compete with myself for time. I generally don't like to race other people. I like to push against my own self. I've talked about, to friends, thinking about racing, maybe an enduro. Now that I'm, over 60, that's a huge advantage. And so you can get the joy of beating some other guys, possibly. Although those old vet riders might leave me in the dust, for all we know. There he is. Yeah, if he hasn't been on these trails too, I've got to remember, right? Always remember that if you're on, these aren't my home trails, but I've been on them several times, maybe 15 times, I don't know. I haven't looked at, I didn't make a video every time I've ridden out here, but I've made a lot of videos out here. So, for all I know, he's never been on that trail, this trail. I don't know. Or has only been on this trail a couple of times. And there's several little things that jump out at you and can surprise you. On the way up, I was listening to some techniques for supporting a claim. I got into something I usually don't do. I got into a discussion, what could be called an argument if you were going to be formal about it, but it was fairly mellow, about a topic, and I'm not going to talk about the topic. And it occurred to me that it was on a forum, and a bunch of people kept jumping in. And they were jumping in with a lot of crazy stuff, either that didn't have to do with the argument, or that were a bunch of poorly expressed ideas. Now, it's learning to argue a point. Takes practice, and knowledge helps. Some people are very naturally good at it. Some people have no idea. Everybody can probably learn to do it better. There's quite a few great YouTube videos on winning an argument. And when I say winning, I mean actually making your case in a fair way that would reasonably convince people. Lots of good videos on doing that. And if you've ever been frustrated trying to express a point where you know that the claim you made is correct, I'm going to talk about one way, just one today, of supporting that claim, okay? So, the method is called a deductive argument. That's a philosophical term. Please ignore it. You can look it up on YouTube to get to the kind of discussion I'm having. But what it really means is you are going to make a couple of statements. If you're going to do this effectively, argue correctly, you are going to make a couple of statements that if both statements are actually true, the person has to accept the fact that your claim is true. So let me give you an example. My house is in Charleston, South Carolina. That's the first statement. I live in my house. That's the second statement. The claim is, I live in Charleston, South Carolina. If you believe or accept as true that my house is in Charleston, and if you believe or accept as true that I live in my house, then you have to believe and accept as true that I live in Charleston. So that's a very, very simple example. If you can do that, that's one way of supporting a claim that you've made. So let's think of another one. Here's one just from life. You watch me throw a baseball from end zone to end zone. You just watch me throw a baseball from end zone to end zone in a football field without touching the ground. It's the first statement. Second, a football field, a regulation football field, is 100 yards long, end zone to end zone. My claim is, I can throw a baseball at least 100 yards without it touching the ground. If you just saw me throw the ball, and you agree that this particular football field is a regulation football field that's 100 yards long, which you could also measure, then you have to agree. You have no choice, unless you're an irrational person, right? I mean, irrational people, you don't always have to have any facts that mean anything for them to reject them. But anyway, that's another form of this deductive argument, and you form it in the structure of two statements or two premises that if they are true, if you agree they're true, you're irrational if you don't agree that the conclusion is also true. These are very simple examples. Things can get much, much more complex, but if you can get to the core of any claim, then there's usually a way you can represent the deductive argument form to make your case. Where you can go wrong in this kind of argument, there's a couple ways. One is, you can form the argument correctly, but still be wrong. So here's an example of that. All dogs can fly. Fido is a dog. My claim is, that Fido can therefore fly. Well, the structure's correct, right? You got two statements that if they were true, then the conclusion would be true. That's a valid structure for that argument. But the argument is not sound. In other words, the argument does not support the claim. Why? Because one of the arguments is false. It's not true that all dogs can fly. Again, if they could fly, and Fido's a dog, all dogs fly, and Fido's a dog, of course Fido can fly. But it's just not true. So the structure is correct. Philosophers call that valid. But the argument is not sound because one of the premises, one of the arguments that supports the claim is not true. You can run into other things. You can actually have two arguments that are true and a conclusion that's true. But if the arguments don't support the conclusion, then you have an unsound argument, right? An argument that doesn't support, you can't use it to support your argument. Anyone who knows anything about argument structure will pick that apart pretty quickly and easily. So here's an example. My dog is brown. My cat is gray. My mother-in-law's cat is therefore white. All of those are true. My dog is brown. My cat is gray. My mother-in-law's cat is white. How we doing?
I'm good. I'm a little tired, you know.
Good. All right. Talking with Beau. Very interesting person. You meet, you know, you got somebody that rides a dirt bike and you wonder, while you're out here, you're just riding bikes. And then you find out they've got all of this history and all these other interests. Not everybody, but it can be surprising, you know, what kind of people you can meet that have. He's a little bastard. Probably going to miss might miss the turn. We'll see. So just remember, the turn to 3 is a sharp right up a little hill. There you go. So here we go. Got it. I was saying about if you've got kids who don't have a lot of experience, trail number 3 can really throw you for a loop if you don't have braking control. A lot of riding dirt bikes and quads is just learning how not to crash when you get a little bit out of shape. And if you're going downhill on a turn or it's off camber and your body hasn't developed the muscle memory yet for that, you know, you've got a lot more risk, much higher risk. So my recommendation, if you're going to take a kid out here to ride, if they have basic control of their vehicle, take them on 1 and 2 and see how they do. Then graduate to 3, see how they do. If they do well, if they feel competent with a P, and confident with an F, then you can work them out on 4. I believe there is part of 4 where you can go back to the parking lot, like cut it in half, but I'm not positive. Take a look at the map. The Forest Service has a good map. Then there are aftermarket maps that people have made where they've enhanced them like with Photoshop or whatever. Because remember, 4 is a bit longer. A bit longer than these other trails. I think 4 is about 4 or 5 miles long. Not really sure. I think the total loop is, heck, I'm guessing 19 miles. Something, I think. I can't remember. Maybe it's 15 miles. I don't know. I just ride, you know, loops. Beau was saying that they, in the map, they call the trails trail number 12. Like 12 A, B, C, D, like that. I'm not looking at the map right now, so I don't know. But I call them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're shaped like your hand, with 1 on the right and 5 on the left. And they get generally longer as you go up in them, with 4 and 5 being the longest trails. 4 and 5 have a lot more off-camber stuff, climbing off-camber turns and that kind of thing. So that's where you need the skill, just not to get into any kind of trouble. He's never been on this trail, so I might be asking a lot, even going this speed, because there's a lot of surprises on this trail if you've never been here, where you might overrun a turn or something like that. So that's why I'm continuing to look back. Several times I've been on this trail when it's new, and I would overrun a turn or something. If the guy in front of you is not looking out, pretty soon he's going to be, you know, a good distance from you by the time you get your bike back on the trail and restart it or whatever. This is just so much fun, actually, to just enjoy the curve. Such a fun trail. Now, I mentioned it on my Wambaw video, the last one I just put up. I think I rode on the 8th, no, the 15th, September 15th. This time of year, the sun can be a real factor in your visibility. It's really low. Thankfully, here at Enoree, there's lots and lots of trees. At Wambaw, there's wide open stretches where the sun can just brutalize you. Hard to see, and you keep your visor down, dip your head down. But just keep that in mind. If you're riding Wambaw this time of year, you might want to get some amber colored lenses with some tint to them. I can continue to hear his bike even when I can't see it. The nice thing about a 4-stroke, contrary to popular belief, is that a 4-stroke sound travels further that way. So not bad, huh?
Huh?
Not bad.
But it's a great place to ride.
Yeah, it's a beautiful time of day too. It's a little bit. I was just saying in my YouTube, I do YouTube videos of these trails.
Yeah.
I was saying that the sun being this low is really hard at Wambaw because it's so open. But here with all the shade, it's really nice. I'm going to turn this off. All right, we're going to head on to number 4. Beau's never been to number 4. So I was warning him about the whoop-de-doos around that corner on the gravel road that one of y'all might have seen my video of me taking a little bit of a tumble. On that road. I think we're the only ones here. always paranoid on two-way roads. I'm just paranoid. Goes right behind. Another one of those hills that you can go flying down, and then all of a sudden there's a turn. So if you got a kid on a quad flying down that hill, suddenly there's a drop off at a turn. So you can see why number 4 could be a little more of a challenge to a young and inexperienced rider. I was just talking to Beau. We took a little rest. He had a very interesting life. Lived in France and done work with, you know, international organizations and governments. Got a cabin up near Table Rock, which is pretty cool. He said he drove down today because there was a spider in his helmet. He says, "Oh, I probably brought that from the cabin." You know me with spiders in these woods. They're always getting into my helmet. But that's pretty cool that he lives up near Table Rock. My brother-in-law and I are supposed to hike the Foothills Trail, which ends at Table Rock if you go that direction. It's like a 4-day trail. I think it's 70 miles. And so we might get Beau to give us a little bit of advice and help on how and where to go. Alright, so I've got to stop for a second. Give him a second to catch up. Here he comes. I see him. Yeah, there's nothing worse than riding a bike you're not comfortable on. I saw his light. Oh, there he is. You good? I'm good. Okay. I saw your light and then I didn't see you moving.
The front brakes finally got me.
Oh my gosh, man.
That's okay.
I don't know what makes that happen on the brake. I don't know enough about them.
It's real tight. I got to figure that out.
Yeah. You want to leave for a while, but you want me? Take your time. Don't rush it. See? He rides the bike proper. Standing up. I've said it before, but where I grew up, it was cool to never stand up unless you had to. I know that's not the best technique, but I like to say I stand up every bit as much as I need to, and not a bit more. Got a little sideways on that little jump. There's 5 jumps in a row right here, and they can pitch you if you're not expecting that. All right, so I guess you can go home. That's what I was thinking was the cutoff for Trail 4. Right there. You can go back somehow. I guess it cuts over to 5 maybe and dumps you out the parking lot. I'm not really sure technically what it does, but I'm relatively confident that that left right there will take you back to the parking lot. Just looking forward to the Marco's pizza I'm going to have back at my sister's house, my brother-in-law's house in chafing. I haven't had pizza in a while. All right, I told them about this road and about the whoop-de-doos and about the problems. At the end, there's a big turn right. I got a fun video of me crashing, making this right turn up here, hitting those whoop-de-doos at speed and not correctly coming into the turn. Right around this corner, you hit a couple of whoops right there. Then you're a little sideways, which I was. First I slammed through them relatively quickly, and then the second time through, I got a little cocky. I think I went about 45 on the main road and hit that turn at about 35, something like that. And it just bounced right out from under me. It's definitely a different experience following a 4-stroke 250 than it is to follow a nice 125 burning good old not cod liver oil. What the heck? I can't think of it. Burning traditional oil that smells so good. You all know what I'm talking about. I don't know why my brain is not connecting the dots with that word. One thing it looks like is that he could work on the suspension on that bike and make it more comfortable. I can't tell, you know, because I'm from the outside looking in, but it just looks like it's, I don't know how well behaved it really is. Kind of glad he's got a light. I got to say, it's just so nice to be out here. Oh, big hawk. Big old hawk flying through the woods there. Now, personally, you can't tell because there's no camera on it, but I'm sitting down for almost all of this. Every once in a while where the bike will drop out from under me, stand up. Generally going over a bump, I'm just staying sitting down. And I'm also, as always, I'm lugging way up in the gears. I'm probably in 4th, right? We're maybe going, I don't know, 20 something. I recently replaced the rings on this bike. It had 72 hours on it. The piston looked brand new. My lower ring, I guess, was a little bit, or my upper ring, I don't know which of the two, one of my rings, I guess it's the lower ring, the oil ring, was pretty poor shape. And changing it really improved the bike's get up and go. I can tell he can ride. He had no problem whatsoever on those whoop-de-doos and rocks. So I'm looking forward to riding with Beau when he's on his other bike. It's a 6 days 250. Completely different machine. He also knows some places to ride up near Clemson, which I went there for my undergraduate, and I would love to get up there and do a little riding and, you know, just remember what that place is like. I went camping there, or hiking actually, I think last year, and had a really beautiful hike on one of the rivers up there. I think it's the Chaga or Chuga, and not the Chattooga, Chuga, I think. And that was a fun little adventure back in the mountains near Clemson, back in that kind of 3D nature. As you might know, I live in a 2D world down in Charleston. It's called the Low Country for a reason. Most of my hiking is done around Edisto on some property we leased down there, 2,400 acre island or peninsula, sea island. It's beautiful, but it's definitely flat, and you probably couldn't find a rock for $100 bucks. It's all sand and some, you know, South Carolina clay, orange clay. Out riding, and the vast majority are just the nicest people in the world. It might just be because when you exercise, it relieves so much stress. Our bodies are made to exercise, and when we don't, your body starts saying, man, something's not right. I need something to do. And often that will lead to people emotionally exercising, right? They'll dwell on the news. They'll watch sports and go crazy, although athletes can do that too. But get really upset about things. Get out the bike after an hour on a motorcycle. You just don't care about trivial things. Your body's satisfied. Your brain's got all that junk pulled out of it by all the blood exchange and oxygen exchange, CO2 removal. Probably why people who ride dirt bikes, they're very similar to people who surf. You go through that kind of exercise, it relieves stress so completely that you're just unable to be a jerk. You feel good, and so you're nice to people. A lot of times when someone's really mean to other people, just imagine what must be going on in their mind. Imagine the trauma and the stress that must be happening in their brains. You know, unless they're a psychopath, right? Unless they literally have some kind of mental disorder, they probably just are in a vicious circle of bad habits of embracing anger. And it could be from frustration at having never learned how to address problems properly. For a lot of people, they don't know how to do that. And for me as an engineer, that's helped me a lot. You know, engineering helped me, and my natural personality fit into engineering, because I've always been a pragmatic person, and that just, there you go. All right, so that's 5 if you want to take it, or 4, I'll take your I'll shortcut you back. All right. I'll follow you. Okay, we're gonna go through the tunnel. Okay. Anyway, I was on my own since I was 15 years old. So I kind of learned at an early age how to solve my own problems. And really before that, we were free-range kids. We literally had no supervision. We could do whatever we wanted to do. We could stay out all night. And my parents wouldn't call the police if we didn't come home. The next day, they'd sometimes ask where we were, but they trusted us really to take care of ourselves. I don't think that's good for all people. I don't think it's safe for all people, but it worked for us. We were in an area where you could get away with that. We were up in the mountains of Northern California. You could get away with that. As my My father told me when I left home at 15. He picked me up hitchhiking a couple of weeks later, and I was expecting to get yelled at, for leaving home. And instead he said, you're lucky you live in these mountains. 15-year-old out on his own in the city, probably couldn't get away with that. Probably would get in some kind of trouble. Man can be free out here at 15. I think he was on his own at 14. Completely forgot what I was talking about. I think Beau's getting a little more of a handle on that bike. What was I talking about? Those 3 whoops right there will throw you. I've almost hit trees bouncing off those 3 whoops coming through there too fast, not realizing they were there. Oh, pragmatism, problem solving, anger. Why are some people just so angry and so frustrated when it's actually just true that almost everything that happens to you, the vast majority of what happens to you, is the result of your decisions? These people make poor decisions. They get mad. They blame other people for what's happening to them. They treat someone like shit. And then they're upset at that person for being mad at them. Not realizing, hey, you didn't mean to that person. Or you slighted them. Or you weren't empathetic when they needed something like that. So, if you're having a problem, if you're waking up in the middle of the night with nightmares, think about what you might be forgetting to do. Think about something that you know that you don't want to do. And then just decide. I wasn't looking, sorry. I was looking back. Yeah, I wasn't looking and I hit that tree. Oh. With my handlebar, drove right up on the bank.
3-1, U0.
That'll make good video anyway.
Nice.
I lost all my water though.
Oh no.
I smushed my bottle. That's enough.
Like you said, you smushed all your bottles.
No problem. I meant to use a different brand of bottle that won't pop the lid off.
Well, where's the fun in that?
Huh?
There's no fun then.
That's right. That's right.
I like this trail.
Oh, this is a great trail, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think you're getting the hang of that bike, huh?
Huh?
You're getting the hang of that bike.
Yeah. It's no. If I let you ride my KTM, you'd be like, oh. Now I see why he was complaining.
All right, back on the trail, chasing the sun here, right? But anyway, if you are having a problem that keeps you up at night, the first question is this a problem I have to solve? Do I have to solve this problem? And I guess the caveat to that, the precursor to that question is it possible to solve this problem? Right? If you believe you can probably solve the problem, then just write down the steps it's going to take. Once they're written down, literally, it's like making a cake. It's just a recipe. You just have to do those steps. Problem solved. Of course, not all problems are that simple. There's a lot of gray area with problems, and what you think might be the solution may not work. But you make your best guess. You put down your options, You pick the best option that seems most likely to work and that you can or can't do in the time and budget you need to solve that problem, and you solve the problem. It works with, you know, mundane things, right? Putting together an engine, doing the laundry, works with those things, and as often is the case, there's several ways to solve a problem. But it also works with relationships. If you're in a challenging relationship, identify the problem, and then try to work with that person to identify what solutions will solve that problem. Then identify whether you are willing to do those solutions. I know all this just sounds silly, and most of the people that watch my videos are watching me ride, putting me on mute, which is fine by me. But there are a few people that they just, you know, I grew up without hearing anything like this. As I said, I was a feral child, running around doing crazy stuff, getting in trouble. No supervision. It's simple things. There are problems that are simple to solve if you know how to do it, that are impossible if you don't know. There's also problems that are simple to solve that are not easy to solve, right? It's simple to run a marathon. It's really simple. Put one foot in front of the other for 26.2 miles or whatever it is. But it's not easy to run a marathon, but it is simple. There are other solutions that are really complicated, but easy. Putting together, fixing your motorcycle, disassembling and reassembling your motorcycle. It's fairly easy. It's pretty complicated. Putting together a plastic model, like as a kid, right? You build models. It's actually complicated. There's a lot of little parts you got to put together, but it's really easy if you just follow the little directions. Anyway, I'm rambling just because I'm trying to occupy my mind as I enjoy this beautiful ride, and maybe I'll try to leave you for a little while with just the sound of my YZ in a fairly high gear, kind of cruising a really fun trail. Also, I think I'll try to do a better job of keeping an eye out when I turn my head and not bouncing off a tree. That was so cool. That could have been a big problem. Oh, I'm so glad he's got my... lid off of my water and have maybe one of those silicone bottles. I've got some small silicone bottles and they're great. You know, as you empty them, they kind of collapse. And something like that is strong and not going to break. But it will also, the lid won't come off of. If you fall, that's what I like. This is one of those turns I was saying is all camber, and when it's wet, it's really slick and muddy. So if a kid's on a four-wheel, I don't know why I keep going to quad, anything, a quad or a bike, going around that corner after a rain, that mud can be slick. You know how it is when this clay gets wet. And it might be a challenge for a newer rider, and the issue is there's just higher risk if something goes wrong, because you're on a off-camber turn with a little steeper fall, right? Steeper fall. I can't believe I ran into that oak tree. I just ran up the side of the trail, bounced off that oak tree. All 0 the time because I need it. Because my idle's set a bit high, and I keep thinking I'm going to adjust it. But by the time I'm ready to adjust it, Beau's already back behind me again. So that's a fun little downhill jump. Brake light could be very useful on a trail you've never been on before. See where they're stopping or slowing down. That way you're ready for it when it happens. Especially if you were riding behind a group of riders and they all had brake lights and they all came on. Again, I'm basically doing this entire trail sitting down. I stood up right there for a second. That was about it. It's a great trail. This is just such a fun Enoree. I know I say it every time. I mean it every time. Enoree is a gem. Enoree is so wonderful to have. So thankful that we've got this resource, sharing the national forest. Fair use in the national forest is something I believe in. I think you should be able to hike it, ride motorized vehicles, ride bicycles, ride horses, camp. Everybody has different applications, different things they like to do. The national forest is our land. We are national forest landholders. every American. And that is a public land holder. The government holds the land in trust. We trust them to take care of it, but it belongs to us. Never forget that. It belongs to us. And fair use is critical. Like I said, everybody has different things they like to do. And if you can use the land without damaging it, then I think it's important that that land is available to everyone to use as they see fit, as long as they are good shepherds of that land. I do want to give a shout out to Chris and Stephanie, right, the former hosts of the Wambaw Cycle Trail, who have the Wambaw Cycle Trail Facebook site, and they constantly take care of Wambaw. Well, guess what? They also come up here and they work very hard, especially the off season, to repair these trails. These trails are just three-dimensional. They are subject to more erosion and other issues than the flat trails we have around Charleston. So they need a little more care. They're closed from January 1st, I believe, to April 15th approximately. And they do a lot of maintenance. I mean, they'll install entirely new bridges and other things, culverts, come out here with heavy equipment, do a ton of work. And Chris, Stephanie are up here working tirelessly for the dirt bike riding community. So I want to give them a shout out. I believe Wambaw Riders Association, something, you know, you can find it on Facebook. Wambaw Riders. They have a non-profit association set up, and they could use some funds for equipment. You can guarantee they'll put that equipment to good use to improve the trail. They're honorable people, and they are members of our community. They ride every day on their dirt bikes if possible. They set up racing tracks across the country, four-wheel vehicles. Stephanie, I believe, was the first woman in the United States to hold a drag racing license for motorcycles. She also holds, in 2016, she got the record for the Pikes Peak hill climb. And Chris has won national titles in racing, I believe. I don't know what, some four-wheel vehicle, a lot of four-wheel vehicle. Anyway, these are our people, and help them out. If you've got a business that can contribute to their equipment fund, I'll try to remember to find this part of my video and post a link. They would appreciate it, and they've earned it. And you will benefit from it. You'll be benefiting your own self and the rest of the community by contributing to their equipment needs. Alright, now let's just listen to a sweet sound of the 250 lugging along as we approach sunset on the Enoree OHV Cycle Trail. How we doing?
I'm good. I'm a little tired, but
Last little bit.
yeah,
I think it's just a few miles.
it's 2 more miles from here.
There you go. Well, let's do it before the sun goes down, if you're up for it. This other turn over here, I don't know how, I don't think it's much faster.
It's not. It's maybe a quarter mile shorter.
Yeah, yep,
This is, I don't know. They're both fun.
yeah. I'll follow you. Idle turn down just a little too much, maybe, huh? I think Beau knows this trail, but I'm not sure. Got a few fun little sections on that trail too. Sunset here. I can get up a little bit. Uphill section. Get on the wall, just hug the wall. Just so much fun. Well, I don't think I'll be too tired tomorrow if we do decide to ride Brown. I may just come back to Enoree, put in a couple of fast laps on all 5 loops, do 2 of each, and then head back instead of going up to Brown. My truck's still not fixed. I'm having a little bit of a problem with the throttle body, where there's a disagreement between the throttle position and the gas pedal position. I think that's what the fault I'm seeing is. It's periodic. It's not coming on all the time, but coming on enough that I don't know if I want to run all the way 3 more hours up to Brown. I might just go ahead and come back here before I go home tomorrow. That's it, folks. We're just about back at the parking lot. A lot of fun. I didn't bring a burrito this time because I'm eating a big old pizza here in another hour. Looking forward to making this into a video, and keep riding with Beau on this little 6 days. Take it easy, everybody.